Okay, we're going to talk about the sales tip, sales tools, we'll call them. And I'd say probably this is something that we did discuss in the last user conference as well, for those who came down as well. But it's the most common question that I get many times over. People want to get their salespeople using the system. And there's some difficulty in doing that. Of course, it just sort of counters the way most salespeople work. They don't want to be typing things into a computer. They'd rather be selling something. They don't see the benefit for the most part, which I get. I understand that. But I'll say what we have seen, and it's not just this system, it's any system. Some of the most successful salespeople, in fact, are also the most organized and utilize the tools at their disposal. So it doesn't have to be an all or nothing thing that all of a sudden your salespeople are on the computer all day long. It doesn't have to be that. There are sort of ways to ease yourself or ease the salespeople into using it. And then I sort of want to talk about different levels of getting the salespeople using the system. The first of which is the most simple, the most easy, requires really no understanding of the system at all, bless you. Requires almost no understanding of the system at all, but it's what we refer to as the snapshots. So an example of this would be a salesperson wants to know information about a product, history about a product. They're going to come in the sales and purchases menu. Plug back in here. Thank you guys, appreciate that. So they would come into the product section. And let's pick 12-ounce cups. So they want to know what's going on with these cups. Now, there is an option here in the system as to whether or not you want to be able to see history of that product by default on load. By default, it's all turned on for everyone. I think some people may have turned off if you want to increase the load times. Like right now, this is loading fairly slowly, probably because I have it turned on. Oh, you know what this is actually? So this is in Internet Explorer 10. There's a new rule that in IE 10 you have to be running in compatibility mode. So to do that, you hit function F12, and then you can change to compatibility mode. So you'll see if you've been upgraded to IE 10 automatically, and you click on a link and it doesn't open, that probably means that you're not running in compatibility mode. So to rectify the situation, you hit function F12, and then select compatibility mode. All right, so this is when the product loads. So many people might not even know that this checkbox exists, but it says show product history. So if this is checked, then this whole second row of history shows up. If it's not checked, then it loads a little faster, but that whole second row is hidden. So I would suggest for the most part, you probably want to leave that checked as yes. And so a salesperson can come in here and quickly see, they can see the information about the product, which is all the things that we just went through, you know. But if they want to see what customers do we have that we're selling this product to, the customers tab is a simple way to say, these are the customers that we sell it to, what each customer calls it. So this column, you can separate out what one customer has a different name for that product. You can say what that is, and that information will actually show on the documentation that goes to that customer. Invoices and packing lists and so on. But also, this pricing field can be used in one of two ways. It can be used to indicate this is our contracted pricing with this customer. It's set, and you set it manually, and then that's that customer's price. Or it can be used another way, which is it can be dynamic and always show the most recent price that you've sold this product to this customer at. You use it one way or the other. So if you're in commodity type business where the prices are all over the place, we suggest use the more dynamic version. Whereas if you have contracted pricing with the customer, obviously you want to set manually. So it's just a nice kind of quick snapshot, see what customers we sell this product to and at what price. Also the vendors, if you want to see who you're buying it from, that's a list of vendors who you buy it from, and the specific pricing that you buy it from that vendor at. The manufacturers. Now, I know not everyone here uses manufacturers, but I'll explain the reasoning behind it. Is that if you're buying from trading companies, or you're buying from brokers, or you're buying from anyone other than the original manufacturer of the product, you can keep track of, on an individual order basis, not just who you're buying it from, but also who originally produced that product. So, and that's on the purchase order. So this is going to be a list of the manufacturers who produced the product. And this is just kind of a quick, again, snapshot of the sales history on this item. So who you sold it to, what price they paid, what customer, the quantity that they ordered, and you can actually drill down into any of these orders if you want to, and it loads in a pop-up and it will show you the details of that sales order. This is a snapshot of purchase history, who you bought it from, the price that you paid, the quantity, and the date. Ventures, as you guys all know, this is active transactions for this specific product. So this is anything that's either in a warehouse or on the water that's not yet completely sold for this particular product. So you can just get an overview here to see what you have active, but you can actually drill down into any of the ventures if you wanted to look at costing information. I don't know how much of the costing information you want to give to your salespeople. That's your choice. But if they do have access to costing information, then they can just drill down into this particular venture and say, okay, here's my latest projected cost per piece or per case or per pound on this specific shipment. In this case, it's $41.19 a piece. So I'm back at the product level now, and this inquiry section is going to show me a history of customers who have inquired about this item. So, and by inquiries, I'm going to get into this next, but I'll just kind of give you an idea. These can be customers who have requested pricing. It could be customers that we've sent out samples to. It could just be a history of customer service related issues that we've had with this specific product. This is a history of those types of items. The offers is a history of price quotes that we've received in from suppliers related to this product. So historically, by date, what different suppliers have quoted us, minimum order quantities, and then cost per case or cost per pound. And then the quotes is a quote history of what we've quoted customers. So this is probably the simplest, easiest way to just give salespeople, you now have access to the system, but just give them access to products. So they can just come in and see a snapshot of the history on that item. Another one that gets used by salespeople quite a bit is, in addition to looking at products, bless you, is customers. So, and remember I was saying before, you can filter what transactions or what items a specific salesperson sees. So if you want them to only see their own customers, then when they go into the customer list, they're just seeing the list of customers that they deal with, not every customer. Check. Oh, that's pretty good. Thank you. All right, so if we were to go into this customer, for example, this is Three Brothers, which I use in demonstrations quite a bit. I will click into it, and I'm going to say, show me the sales history for this particular customer. So same idea, you have this checkbox here, which by default is loaded. This is show me customer history. And what it means is this whole second row of historical information now. So the first tab is sales. So this shows me what have I sold this customer, at what price. Actually, before I go here, let me go into the product section. This is one row per product that we sell this customer. So it's in fact coming from the same place that we saw on the product screen. But this is one row per product, and it can be either our contracted price for each product that we sell to the customer, or it can be the most recent price that we've sold this product to this customer at. You can use it either way. The sales, by comparison, is instead of being one row per product, this is actually now one row per transaction. So this is our sales history for this customer. And the same way we saw on the product screen, you can drill down into a sales order if you want to see details, like when you ship to the customer, that kind of thing. But from right here, we can see the price and the quantity and the date and so on, and what salesperson was dealing with them. Now the purchases, this is actually changing as well in the new version. So I'm just going to talk about it the new way because the old one's not relevant anymore. So what the purchases will show is a history of purchases that were made that shipped to that customer, but based on pre-allocation. So you have to kind of use pre-allocation for that to make sense. But it will be historical purchases that you've made with the suppliers that in fact ended up being shipped to that customer based on pre-allocation. Ventures is any specific ventures or PO shipments in the system that are allocated to this customer but not yet sold. So if we wanted to look at this one, for example, there is 150,000 kilos, that's in this case it's sitting in a warehouse, and it's been allocated to that customer. And we could drill down into this as well if we wanted to see what our costing information is on that particular venture. Inquiries is, again, historical. What products has this customer inquired about? What samples have we sent this customer? What products has he had issues with? You know, again, I was saying before, customer service related issues. Offers is going to be a historical record of price quotes that we've received in from suppliers that are specifically tied to inquiries that this customer has placed with us. So the customer inquires about a product, they want pricing. We go out to 3 different suppliers and get pricing back. This is where you would see a history of all that pricing that you've gotten back. And then quotes is just historical. What have we quoted this customer? What price did we quote them? When did we quote them? Who's the salesperson that was working with them? And then you can drill down into it if you want to see the documentation and so on. So again, I think it's probably the most simple, basic way. If you just want to get salespeople, give them just a taste of the system, is just give them access to customers and products. And there's enough that you can get there that you can actually see some real value and see, at least the history of customers and the history of products. So that's what I call the snapshots. The other thing is that works pretty well for salespeople is the alert system. And we're going to get more into the alert system, I think tomorrow or this afternoon. But the idea here is from your home page, you can have a list of all the things that the system's alerting you to. And this is custom. But if it's a let's see what we have here. Inquiries. So this is a listing of any inquiries that were assigned to me, or any customers that have inquired about products that's related to me specifically. So I can drill down into this and pull up what active inquiries I have going on right now. Another one would be any inquiries that are due today, or I know one that we did for you guys, Jose, that I think others might be able to take advantage of too, is inactive customers. Do you mind if I talk about that? What we did there? Okay. Not that I gave you an option there, but so the idea is, in the case of Jose's company, there's lots of different salespeople, and a salesperson can lock down a customer. They can have it. They have a exclusive rights to that customer, I guess you'd say, for a certain period of time. If there's now no activity with that customer, then that customer goes back into the mix, and other salespeople will have access to it. So I think in this case it was 6 months or 12 months or something like that. So on that salesperson's homepage, when they log in, they can get a picture of any of their customers that don't have a ton of activity in the last 6 months, and they're going to be coming up for this inactive, or they're going to be going back into the mix if this customer doesn't do some activity with them, do an order with them. And then, what's that?
What's the mix?
The mix means make it available for other salespeople.
Gotcha.
In that case. So that was one for that. So that's my particular customers. But then the other one was the list of all inactive customers. So now every single sales rep can log in, and from their homepage they can see a list of all the customers that have gone back into what I just called the mix. I'll call it again, available again. So those are some also good examples. So it's kind of a simple way, just from the homepage, to get a picture of things that might be important to you.